biking, and running. Individually, they're all fun activities and they're all good for you. But you put them all together and you have a triathlon. Hi, welcome to Around the Town with Marilyn Forbes. For today's very special show, we're actually going to be working with a triathlon coach. And she and I are going to be doing some great activities to show you how you can get ready for a triathlon. The show is mostly geared towards first-timers, but for those of you that have done triathlons before, please don't turn your dial because Sue has some great ideas. The Regional Family YMCA graciously opened up their doors and allowed us to use their facility for 2 parts, and we also did some swimming as well. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Okay, now before we start training for our triathlon, we're going to find out exactly what a triathlon is. And we have with us today Sue Waldrop, who is actually a professional triathlon coach.
Right.
And she is going to kind of try to show me some ideas on how you folks can maybe incorporate some of these things in training to get ready for the triathlons and maybe even 5Ks that you're interested in. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I think we all know what a triathlon is, but maybe not. It's a race that incorporates swimming, biking, and running, and they're all different lengths. But there's a lot of misconceptions. Some people feel that a triathlon is only for the super fit, or people who have all the right equipment, or they're real thin, or whatever, but everybody deserves the chance to be a beginner. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I want to do today, is I want to take you through the paces and show everybody. And the perfect place to do that are these local triathlons. You can kind of get your feet wet a little bit.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Last year there was the 2 in the area, Scottsdale and Connellsville, both of which we're going to be talking about a little bit later in the show. And I went to both of them for the newspaper. And I was surprised to see how many people actually were, as you said, not professional athletes.
Right.
As a matter of fact, the 2 young ladies who finished last in Connellsville, God bless them. I mean, everybody was kind of like the commercial that you see everybody's taking everything down for the race and the guy comes. But you know what? They were so proud that they just did it. They said it wasn't a competition for them. It was just something they were doing for themselves. So that's something to keep in mind. It doesn't matter if you come in first or second. Right. It's just that you try.
Right. And you know what? It's just things we did as a child, swimming, biking, and running. And somewhere along the way, we gave up those. But it's just a chance to get that back and enjoy the sunshine all summer, swimming, biking, and running with your friends and your family.
Now, what exactly are you, not exactly, but give us an idea of what you're going to be doing with me today.
Well, right after this, I'm going to take you to the pool, and we're going to go over a little bit of swimming. We're going to head and get on a bike. I'm going to talk about how to set up a bike and talk about the different kinds of bikes, what you need, and a little bit of safety, some running, how to get started if you don't run at all. And you know, in a triathlon, you can do a walk and run. You don't have to set out to run the whole thing. You can walk the whole thing. So don't let any limitations stop you. You know, it's for everybody, really.
And you can do teams as well,
you
correct?
Can do teams. Let's say that you really don't want to swim. I suggest trying. But if you don't want to swim, you know, get your neighbor to do the swim. You do the bike. Have your sister do the run. It really is a good way to bring a family together, too.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you're going to show me just a couple things for each of the events, okay? And then, like we said, it's something that, there again, you can incorporate at home. You can probably add to, right?
Yeah, right.
So we ready to go to the pool?
We're ready to go to the pool.
Okay, well, we're going to go to the pool. And I did want to point out, traditionally, that is how it goes, right? Swimming, biking,
running.
Okay, so that is the way we are going to bring it to you today. We're going to be swimming, biking, and running.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Stick with us. Are starting out in swimming.
Yay.
And Sue is going to tell us some of the finer points and some things that we can do to get ourselves built up and ready to do a triathlon. All right, Sue, take it away.
Well, first of all, doesn't she look pretty spiffy in her tri-suit? And so in tri-suit, you really do the whole thing, and you swim, you bike, you run in it. So it's, you know, it's pretty, you don't have to change at all. But that's not to say that you can't wear a bathing suit, throw a pair of shorts over it. It's whatever you want it to be.
Can you get these anywhere, or how's that work?
You can get them in some running shops or online if you search tri-suits or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I find the biggest thing with people who are new, and we're gearing this whole segment on people who maybe have never done a triathlon before, they're intimidated by it. Usually the swim is the deal breaker.
Right.
And there are people who are very great at triathlon and they're fast at everything, but we really want to gear it towards someone that never has done anything like this before. Okay, so the swim is usually, like I said, the deal breaker. You know, I could do, if it wasn't for that, if I had a nickel for every time someone said, I'd do that triathlon if it wasn't for the darn swim.
Really?
Oh my goodness. So, and I find when I work with people that they work like crazy at swimming, like hard all the way down to the end, and then you're gasping on the side. You really want to slow things down and not fight so much. And I find that as soon as people relax, and I recommend that you maybe get a swimming lesson or grab a friend that knows how to swim and they can look at your stroke and give you a couple pointers, because you're not trying to be a perfect swimmer here. We're just trying to get the job done this first year that we do this. We're trying to get the job done, and maybe a lesson or two wouldn't hurt.
Okay, something else too that Sue and I had talked about. Whenever you are swimming, if you get tired, you can either do something like a side stroke, roll on your back, anything like that. Yeah. You don't have to kill yourself or drown.
I really recommend there's a couple months before the triathlon, get in and train, get yourself in the pool. That's the best advice. But you can always rest. And some triathlons, like the Bookworm, it's in a pool. So that is really comforting to some people. Most triathlons, though, are in lakes, oceans, rivers.
Yeah, the Connellsville one is actually the yacht. They swim across the yacht. Yeah. So there again, that's something completely different.
Right.
So we're here now at the Scottsdale pool, Scottsdale Community Pool, where they are actually going to be doing the swimming segment of the Bookworm.
Right.
Worm.
The Bookworm. So we thought we would get you in and put you through the paces a little bit. Swimming is mostly technique, and if you're churning and muscling all the way through, it's going to be long and hard. So we want to get real smooth. So I thought I'd give you a couple pointers on your stroke.
Okay. Actually doing this thing?
Yep, get in.
All right. Okay, folks, I'm going to swim here, and you can laugh at my technique or lack of technique. Sue here is actually going to critique me. Are you ready for this? All right. Okay.
Here she goes.
Here I go. Hold your breath, everybody.
She's well on her way. There's a couple things there. You're kicking a lot. Kick. And that's going to cause your heart rate to go up, and then you're going to become breathless before too long.
Okay.
And I think the Bookworm is 12 lengths. Okay, so you got to pace yourself. So you slow down your kick a little bit. Another thing is if you roll a little bit when you swim instead of swimming flat.
Okay.
So roll and relax. Okay? And another thing is...
Are my hands okay? Is there a certain way you should do your hands?
Your hands should be sort of like this,
like
a paddle.
Okay.
No scooping.
No scooping?
Like a
Okay.
paddle.
Okay.
And another thing I would suggest that you do is breathe more often. You took like 4 strokes before you took a breath.
Okay.
That's going to take its toll also. Okay?
All right.
One more thing. You want to, when you're pulling underneath, you want to have a bent elbow. You are like pretty much just going straight down. So you here, and when you're underwater, you want to pull with a bent elbow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, instead of a straight arm. So those are 3 things that she can work on, and there might be others, but if she tackles those 3 things, and she has enough time before the race to be a super swimmer.
And like you said, kind of a little bit at a time, maybe do a couple laps and then add on to it and stuff. And like we said, there's a lot of places in the area that you really can. The Wise have pools, as we said here, Connellsville Community, some other areas.
Right. Get in the pool though, because this is the thing that usually keeps people away from a triathlon. But it really is what makes a triathlon really special.
And remember, this is the first part. So once you have this one done and out of the way, then
here we
continue
go.
to have fun.
Yeah. It's on to the bike next.
All right. Okay. Well, that's where we're going to be heading.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try this again. Okay. Slower kicking.
Slower kicking.
A little bit bendy armies.
Roll a little bit.
And paddle hands. No paddle hands.
Yeah, no cupped hands. You want flat hands.
I can do that.
Okay.
Ready?
Those are 3 things.
Okay. I'll see you at the Y.
I'll see you there.
Okay. Okay, well, that was was fun. We survived the pool. And we are here for event number 2, which is the biking. And since we don't want Seth running alongside of us on a bicycle outside, we decided the next best thing would be a stationary bike. And the Family Regional YMCA here in Mount Pleasant was gracious enough to let us come to their facility and hang out. So here we are.
Yay.
So now, where are we going from here, Sue?
Well,
Here we go.
and an indoor spinning facility like this is a great way to practice during the winter too. So, you know, if you have a spinning bike or a bike at your house, it's a perfect way to go also. But you want to make sure a couple things. You want to make sure your seat is high enough where you have a slight bend at your knee. Most people I see out on the trails riding, their seats are way too low.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and I suggest you take your bike. I know you can't take this bike, but you take your bike that you're going to use in the triathlon and you take it to a bike shop. And they'll put you on it and make sure you have everything set just for you.
Oh,
Because you want to make sure you're getting enough power. You want to make sure you don't injure your knees. You want to make sure it's comfortable. And that's all a bike fit that a bike shop should be able to do for you.
Okay. No, that's a good question there, too. What kind of bikes? I mean, can it be any type of bike or?
And that's a great question because there's a lot of bikes and it can be really intimidating. And if you go to a bike shop, if you don't have one and you go to a bike shop and you say, hey, I'm doing a triathlon, well, the guys at the bike shop or the girls might say, take you over to the triathlon bikes. And triathlon bikes are fantastic, but they're really for people who have been doing it a while. They're comfortable on bikes. So if it's your first race and you don't really have some experience with that, I wouldn't go to a triathlon bike. You can get a bike that you ride on the trail, you know, the upright bikes, okay? You can go to a road bike, like when we were growing up, we called them 10 speeds. You know, remember back in the day? I don't want to like date us or anything.
Dating ourselves there.
But, you know, it's like,
10-speed.
right. And, you know, the bike you have in your garage is perfect, okay? You want to see if you like the sport, I'm sure you will, before you start investing in different bikes. But right now, your first race, you want to be comfortable and not intimidated by your bike. So whatever bike it is, it could be a mountain bike, it could be a hybrid, it could be, I've done races in local races where there's baskets on the front, there's baby seats on the back, and so it's all good. It should be not intimidating. Whatever you have is good.
Now, I know that you said that each triathlon is different. They're all different
Right.
entities. Is there like a set or, should I say, an average distance that you usually bike in something? Or?
Well, the triathlons, how they go usually, it's something called, the shortest one is called a sprint. And sometimes that's scary to people because they think they have to sprint the whole thing. I could never do a sprint, I'm not fast. You know, because the name is misleading. But a sprint just means it's a short triathlon. It usually is a quarter-mile swim, half-a-mile swim, or if it's in a pool, it could be 8 to 12 lengths of the pool. Relatively short, maybe that doesn't seem short, but it's relatively short. The bike on a sprint could be 12, 15 miles, 10 miles, and the run is usually a 2-mile or 5K, 3.1 miles.
Okay.
So it's very manageable, and it's manageable to train for that in your life if you have a family and a full-time job, and you know, it won't take over too much. And then if you double that, you have what's called an Olympic distance, and if you double that, you have what's called a half Ironman. And if you double that, you have an Ironman, which is, you can see it on TV. It's a 2.5-mile ocean swim. Well, not necessarily ocean, but 2.5-mile swim, 112-mile bike, and then a marathon at the end. So it's long, but so
Well,
not
on the pool. I'm not going to do an Ironman, but go ahead.
you know, like that's like something that's on the other end, but this sprint distance is perfect.
Okay.
And let's talk about helmets.
Yes, I was just going to say, how about safety?
She doesn't need to have a helmet on in here. Maybe she does. I don't know her that well. Maybe she does inside.
Fall over and I'll be safe. But, go ahead.
But you need to have a helmet. Anytime you're on a bike, you need a helmet on. Even if you're on the trail. I mean, when I'm usually the only one wearing a helmet on the trail. And
You're the safest one.
Yes. I mean, your head is so important, and it's such an easy thing to do. And so you need to do that.
And what about the goggles?
Glasses, sunglasses, that's...
Oh, these are just plain old sunglasses?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. These were like buggy or something.
Yeah, no. But gloves, you know, they're good for grip, and if you sweat or if you happen to fall, I hate to say it, but if you happen to fall, you know, you can protect your hands. Gloves, protecting your eyes. I wear contacts, so I need to have, you know, so some people do, some people don't.
But out of all of these, really, the one thing that you definitely should have is the helmet.
Oh, helmet, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So here we are.
Okay. What are we going to do here?
Well, we're just going to pedal.
Okay. I guess I am leaning up, huh?
Yeah. So lean into it a little bit. This is a spin bike. It's a little bit different than what a bike would be. You can have your feet clipped into pedals, but right now we don't. You can just wear running shoes. You don't have to wear bike shoes.
Okay.
You don't have to invest in a lot of equipment. You can see she has a slight bend when she's all the way down.
That's good.
Bend your elbows a little bit, sort of relax. It really should be relaxed when you ride.
Should I be like on the palms of my hands then? Because I actually was up like this.
Yeah, you know what? You don't want a big crease here, but you can move your hands around. They can be out here.
Oh, okay, whatever is comfortable.
And you'll see on your outside bike, with different handlebars that you have, there's different hand positions.
Now, something like the biking, for instance, rule of thumb, because as we did say earlier, Sue does this professionally. Should you come out like gangbusters? Should you do the whole thing at an even pace? I mean, what is the recommended way you handle the biking?
Right. Well, I think it depends on your goal and your abilities. People who do this for a living, like they're pro triathletes, or even people who want to win their age group, especially in a sprint. I mean, they are. If you want to be really competitive, you're going as fast as you can for all three.
Oh, okay.
But if you're doing this for fun and it's your first time and you just want to, it's just great to just get on and ride. You come out and you're enjoying yourself the whole time because you want to do it again. So you want to treat it like this is fun.
Okay.
And then you can decide as you go how competitive you want to be.
Because the reason I was asking is actually Seth has challenged me to possibly be part of a team for a triathlon. He wants me to swim, and my husband right away said, well, I'll bike because that's the easiest. Is it the easiest? Because he said about gliding. Now, I know that you don't want to get out there and glide your 14, 12 miles.
Yeah.
You want to, like you said, do the best you can.
It all depends on your pace and the terrain. Sometimes if they're more hilly, it's tougher, but I think we can all ride a bike. And you know what? And you don't have to go fast. The thing that makes triathlon really neat is the swim, though, because it's something that most people can't just go, I'm doing that tomorrow. You need to train, and now we have a couple months before some of the summer triathlons start. It's a good time to plunk yourself in the pool like we were earlier. Like right now, don't wait.
So then as far as the biking then, basically, if you can get on one of these in the wintertime to keep in shape, it's a good thing. And as soon as the weather breaks, get out there
and you can be on the roads. We have a lot of trails now around, whatever you feel comfortable.
And again, there too, you don't have to buy, as Sue has pointed out many times, anything special. It doesn't have to be a big investment.
Yeah.
Just go out and try it, and hopefully you'll like it.
Yeah, you can have the bike that's in your garage right now. I would take it to a bike shop to get it.
That's a good idea. I never realized about the seat because I am one of those people. My seat is really, really low on my. And speaking of seats, is there a certain kind of seat that you would recommend? I mean.
Yeah. No. Well, everybody always thinks the bigger. Everybody always thinks the bigger the seat, the more comfortable. That's not necessarily the case.
Okay.
You want to make sure your seat doesn't get in the way of your legs moving. I mean, yeah, some of those real big seats, they look attractive, like, oh, that's going to be so, but no, you'll be sorry. Yeah. You don't have to have like a thin, crazy seat like you see on some road bikes, but and sometimes what a bike shop will do will let you try some seats also to see what's.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And we do have a lot of bike shops in the area.
Yeah.
We're lucky there.
Right.
They've been really growing in number with the popularity of the bike trails growing.
Oh, right.
So we do have several in the area you can take advantage of and go and talk to them and pick a shop.
Yep, it's good.
Okay, so what, we done with the bike end?
I think we're done with the bike. We've done our 12 miles, and we are gonna head into the run.
Head into the run?
Yeah.
All right, folks, stick with us.
See,
the fun is still going on.
They're easy.
Armstrong Local Programming features our community like no one else. Meet your friends and neighbors at special events. Find the perfect pet. Celebrate our region's rich history or enjoy our natural wonders. Armstrong Local Programming is available online, on demand, and on your local Armstrong channel. Find the complete program schedule at ArmstrongOneWire.com. Local programming, exclusively from Armstrong. One Wire, infinite possibilities.
I'm still surviving. Sue has me on a treadmill now. We are going to talk about the third and final event of a triathlon, which is the running. Running? Okay, I'm going to give this to Sue while I get my exercise.
Okay. The running part. Actually, you don't have to run. You can walk. Don't let the inability to run keep you from entering a triathlon. You can walk, or you can do a combination of walking and running. Or if you're a runner, you can run the whole thing, okay? I suggest if you do not run right now and you want to do a triathlon, you start now, a couple months before, and you start slowly building up with some walking and running, because running is the place that you're going to get those little aches and pains if you do it too much, too fast, too hard, too often, whatever, okay?
And also, too, the same question for the biking. Does the distance for the running differ from event to event?
Yes, like the one that we're going to do locally is usually 2 to 3 mile run or walk or combination. And yeah, so it's a real nice little distance that you can still have your life and your whatever and train for this too.
Now, this being the final event, now you had said when we were doing the biking that the idea of the whole triathlon is as fast, as quick as possible. Should you save a little bit of your energy for this last part, or just go for it?
Well, I suggest that if this is your first time, I think you should pace yourself the whole time.
Okay.
And you should enjoy yourself the whole time. You should wave at friends, and you should be like happy the whole time. And then after you get a couple under your belt, then you can decide, do I want to make this, do I want to keep getting faster, or do I really like it to be comfortable and friendly? Because you're still getting exercise, you're still having a good time. So there's no shoulds here. It should be fun, really. That's the only should.
And also, too, something else that we didn't talk about was you can actually stop in between events. Do you want to explain that? Like if you want to change your shoes, or if there's something you want to do.
Right.
You want to explain that?
The race, after the race begins, the time starts, okay? And so you can take as much time as you want for all three things and in between, and you can walk, but the time is still going, okay? After the swim, you go into what's called a transition area, and you get ready for your bike, and your bike is in there, and your shoes, and your towel. So then you get ready to bike. You get on your bike, and you bike, and you come back, put your bike where it was, and then you get your running stuff. Run to the finish. So you can take as long as you want, but it's all that time. Uh-oh, she's speeding up. She's getting cocky now. She's getting, all of a sudden, she's flying back.
Exactly.
But so you can take as much time as you want. But what I would suggest really with running, the only real equipment you need are running shoes.
Okay.
And I would suggest there's all different brands. There's all different kind of running styles. If you go to a running shop, and there's a lot around, I mean, you don't have to, but they'll put you on a treadmill and look at your gait and maybe give you the shoes that are made for your. You don't have to, though. You can, but that's like one way to go.
Okay, and it'd probably be like a lot more comfortable too.
Yeah,
I imagine.
Comfortable.
Okay.
Okay, should we pump you up a little bit? Here we go.
Now, I have a hard time taking my hands off these things because it freaks me out. So if I do go flying,
we'll just scrape you up off the floor if you do.
And while we're done with running, Sue's actually going to do a couple exercises with us.
She's trying to talk, and it's getting faster.
Okay, I'm supposed to be running on this. Can I hold on?
You can hold on. We'll just in a truck. You'll just have a treadmill during the race.
Trying. All right.
Oh, there it goes. Look at that.
Hey, this isn't too bad.
Yeah. See, triathlons are easy. I don't know what everybody's talking about.
And look how much fun we're having. Okay, folks, stick with us. We're going to do some exercises. Okay, folks, Sue's not done with me yet. We're going to do a couple exercises and stretches and ways to build ourselves up, things that we can do at home. But there again, too, if you belong to a gym, someplace like the Y or another gym in the area, it's always a good thing to go and keep working out and keep staying fit and get yourself ready for those triathlons and 5Ks like we were talking about. But, okay, I put it off long enough. Sue, what are you going to do with me now?
Okay. Yeah, when you're training for a triathlon, the most important thing is to do the three sports, the swim, the bike, the run. That's the important part. But it's also important to be strong. So if you have some extra time, you should do these basic exercises to help you get you strong. There are lots and lots of things that you can do, but this is just some basic, quick things to make you stronger. First thing I think we should do is a wall sit.
Okay.
Okay, what you want to do is walk your feet out, okay, and then you're going to slide down the wall, and then take your feet out a little bit more. Okay. And then you're just going to hold it there for like 45 minutes. No, I'm kidding.
She better be. I'm crying already. Oh, I can feel it.
So you're working your quads and
Can I put my hands here? No.
You can.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Okay. So really what you want to try to build up to is a minute plus, but you might want to start with 20 seconds, okay?
How about 10?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we good?
Yeah, so that's one thing right there. Perfect.
And you just, it's not, I mean, you seriously just stay.
You just stay right there.
All right. Done with that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then we're going to come in here.
Okay.
We're going to do push-ups here, and if you don't have this machine, because I bet you don't have this in your home, But if you're
No, just kidding.
we're going to do push-ups, and you can use your kitchen counter, you can use your washer and dryer,
Oh, okay.
you can be down on the floor. The lower you go, the harder it is. And all of these things that we're doing should be challenging. If
Okay.
they're not, you need, how can I make this harder to do? Because that's what's going to give you that training effect. If you can just whip through it and it's real easy, you're not getting what you want out of it.
Okay.
Okay, you hold it while I show you.
Oh, goody. Okay.
Go here, down, press up, your body stays really straight.
Do that again, please.
You just want me to.
I wasn't watching the videos. I was good. On your toes?
Yeah,
Okay.
you just kind of.
Okay.
weight
Am I?
into it.
And you're not hitting your chest?
You're lining the bar up
Okay.
about right here. Or if you're, sorry.
Like this?
Okay, so go a little bit wider here.
Okay. And on my toes?
Yeah, and
Like this?
yeah, just like that.
Oh, really? That's easy.
Take your feet, wiggle your feet back just a little bit, and your body is like a board.
Okay.
And then
Forward.
down,
Keep it nice and stiff then?
right, down, press
That's
up.
harder. We do these 3 times?
Yeah, so what you want to do is do like 15 of them, and it should be challenging. If it is not,
It's challenging. 5's challenging.
if it isn't, go lower.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what you can do for your chest. Chest, triceps, 99,
this in
100.
2040. I feel this also in my ankles a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that could be just a flexibility thing down there maybe.
Alrighty.
Okay.
I'm done.
Yeah. Okay, then let's do some squats.
Okay.
Okay? Okay,
All right, Sue, what's next?
Another thing we could do are squats. And you don't need a lot of fancy weight or bars or equipment yet at the beginning stage. What you want to do, you might want to have a chair or a bench behind you, and you're just going to tap down, up, tap. Now watch my knees don't go forward.
Oh,
okay, my rear
it's
end
actually
goes
like you're sitting down.
back. You want
Okay.
to avoid that kind of movement.
Okay.
Let's try it.
All right, and this benefits.
You're working your quads, your glutes, all those biking and running
Down
muscles.
like that.
Down and press up, right. Keep looking forward. It's good. If you can do a whole lot of these, then think of holding a couple dumbbells.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can make
I
it.
move my arms then too, like.
Yeah, or you can just hold the dumbbells here. You can hold them at your sides. What you want to do is think, how can I make, I don't know, 12 to 15 kind of hard,
Okay.
but not impossible.
Now, can I go down further than this?
I would
no, this
I
is
would
about
stay
what I
just
do.
like that, just like you're doing. Perfect.
Ready?
Okay,
Okay. I'm liking that one. It was
Yeah.
easy.
let's do
What else we got?
let's do planks. So
Okay.
core strength is very important for anything. Core strength.
Okay.
So something very simple is just heading right down to the ground. Okay.
Alrighty.
What you're gonna do is go down on your arms and up on your toes.
Okay.
Okay, and you're just gonna hold it here.
And I'm just holding
You're
it?
just gonna hold it there, just like that. And what you want to do is work up to a minute maybe, but let's go for 15 seconds. How's that?
Okay.
And bring this up a little bit. Yeah, perfect. Yep, that's it. How do you feel? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. And so what you would do is just build from there.
Okay.
Okay, because your body's really amazing. It will do with enough stimulation, enough rest. It'll do what you ask it to do. It'll keep improving.
Okay, and again, like we said too, I did want to stress, really, even if you're not into doing a triathlon,
Yeah.
what Sue showed me today, and it's great for physical fitness.
Yeah.
Keep yourself fit and healthy and happy.
Right. And you know what? I would check with your doctor too before you do any of this stuff. Like go in and say, I'm planning on doing a triathlon, or I'm planning on exercising or doing a 5K, just to get the okay from them.
All right.
Yeah.
Are we done exercising?
I think we're done exercising.
Okay, before we finish up here with Sue, I did actually, Sue, tell us a little bit about your program, what you do for people for triathlons, and she also has another special program I want her to tell us about. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a triathlon team in our area, Greensburg, Mount Pleasant, Scottsdale, Latrobe area. And we have about 100 people on the team. It's a swim, bike, run team. Trainingwithsue.com. And we have a blast.
I'm a walking billboard. Go
Right,
ahead, I'm sorry.
and this is our 10th season. We have about 100 people. It's a great summer activity. We have a good time. Yeah, we have a great time. Also, we have something that I started a few years ago. I didn't really start it, but I brought it to this area, Team Survivor. It's a national nonprofit, and Team Survivor pays for fitness opportunities for women cancer survivors. And yeah, it's fantastic. And right now we have about 11 of our 100 people on our team are in Team Survivor, and their training is covered, their first event is covered, and it's great. It's a great program.
Oh, wonderful. Now, we're going to get all the contact information at the end on that, but you want to tell us real quick how to get in touch with you?
Trainingwithsue.com. It's very easy. I look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you want to tell our viewers out there, what they can do to get ready for a triathlon, or as I said, just to get a little bit more fit in life?
Well, first of all, keep it really simple and keep it fun. If you can keep it fun and simple, you're not going to be intimidated and you're going to keep coming back, and then you can start getting a little bit more technical. But at first, you are allowed to be a beginner and keep it fun.
And you know what, something else too, a lot of the triathlons in the area actually do benefit nonprofit organizations, and or there's, you know, memorial funds and stuff. So you're out there getting fit, having fun, and contributing to something in your community. Sign up and have fun. And I want to see everybody at our local triathlons this year. Thanks, Sue.
Thank you.
Okay, we are now here at the Scottsdale Library, and we're going to be hearing about one of the upcoming triathlons that you folks can take part in. We're talking today with Patty Miller and Rhonda Allison, Allison, who's going to be telling us all about the event and how you folks can get all registered and ready for it. Well, ladies, thank you for being a part of the show.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
Sure, and welcome. And now tell us, first of all, tell us about your event.
Well, the first thing I want to say is we need to refer to it as the Bookworm Triathlon. It's the Scottsdale Library Bookworm Triathlon, and it's becoming popularly known as the Worm.
Oh, the worm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Are you going to do the worm this year? Yes.
Oh, that's fun. Okay.
Yes. So this will be our third year.
Okay.
Third year of doing this, and I think each year we're improving, and we hope to continue to improve.
Now, how did this all get launched in the first place? How did you folks? Because this is a fundraiser for the library. Who thought of it, or how did it start?
I'm going to say that it was Mike Basato, who's our race director. Now, Mike is a triathlete. He's been a triathlete for years. He's participated in a lot of triathlons. He's trained his entire family to do triathlons, his children, his wife, etc. And they were patrons of the library. They were in here all the time, and somehow we just thought that would be a great, a partnership. Sure. The library and a triathlon. Spirit, mind, body. We want to promote a healthy lifestyle in this community, and that seemed like a great way to do it.
And it's the third year, and you said it's getting more and more popular.
Right.
Now
bigger. People are actually calling us asking if it's on site yet. They're, the first year it was trying to find people who would do this, sending out emails, trying to find some of the athletes, or Mike was looking for those. Last year it seated itself. Now this year we're getting calls.
Wonderful.
When's it online? When's it on active.com? So.
Well, last year, what I thought was really interesting is your participation last year was fabulous.
Yes.
And it rained.
It rained.
It poured the whole time.
It poured. And
It did.
I'll tell you what, talk about, champs out there. And it was great.
It went off without a hitch. One thing that we're really happy and proud to say is we have been accident-free so far, and we're thrilled about that.
Everybody's knocking on wood.
Because, that is a big concern with triathlons, and we prepare all year long. We have someone, Barry Warwick, our former borough manager, is in charge of traffic and safety. He brings on board the fire departments, the local fire departments. He brings on mutual aid, the Scottsdale Police, the auxiliary police, and we have over 100 volunteers.
Oh, wow. Yes. Oh, my. And I know for an event like this, volunteers are really important, and I'm sure you could use some more, right?
We absolutely can. Please.
There you go.
We will take volunteers in the pool area, in the food area, in the transition area. They're just needed in every aspect. Like I said, it takes over 100 volunteers to put this on to make sure it's a good, safe event. And so far, we have been really thrilled at how it's gone.
Wonderful. Now, the course itself, has it changed over the last couple of years, or have you kept the same course, or how's that worked for you?
It was tweaked a little bit last year, and well, one of the things that we do, Marilyn, is we have done a survey at the end of each event and really taken into considerations the suggestions that the athletes themselves make.
Okay.
You know, if there is a turn that is just too tight, or if there is, you know, an area that they think, boy, this needs some tweaking, we really do pay attention to that. We go over those surveys with a fine-tooth comb and make adjustments.
Okay.
So the pool, of course, it's not going to change. Regardless of what you're doing, it's 12 laps up and back, and for the super sprint, it's 6 laps up and back. The run has been pretty much the same. It's a fairly flat run. It's not a lot of hills in the run itself, but the bike course we hear is extremely challenging.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And it's all around the area, all around the Scottsdale area?
Right, it goes out into East Huntington Township.
Oh, okay.
Baltimore Road, West Pittsburgh Street, Fleming Hill for the locals, yes.
So you get a nice,
Yeah.
nice tour of the area.
Exactly. And of course, the athletes can get a copy of the, you know, they will come in and get a copy of the course
Oh, so
that
it's
they
not like
can
top secret or
practice.
anything,
Oh,
okay.
no, absolutely not. We're very happy to give that out.
One of the things
You're
we
better
hear,
off prepared.
Yes. One of the things we hear from our bikers when they do come back and when we read those surveys is, this place is beautiful. There are a lot of people from out of the area who come in just for these triathlons
that's
that
wonderful.
we have.
And they enjoy
And
the
they
rolling hills.
they'll say
and
it's just so
countryside.
pretty. They almost wanted to stop, but they had to keep going. And then some people said they were going to drive back out. They needed to look at it one more
well,
time
that's great.
on how beautiful it is here.
And they can come back to Scottsdale and eat and shop and hang out,
Right.
come to the library.
And you know what? Because this is such a local event, and it's a small community. All of our communities around here are very, you know, it's like a big family.
Sure.
Mike has taken people from out of the area. He's gone with them on the bike run. He's taken them through the course. I mean, it's a very user-friendly try, and I think that's why it's really becoming very popular.
Now, the event itself benefits the library.
Yes.
Not is anything for anything special, or just library operation funds, or
It's
what?
just a general fundraiser for the library.
Okay. No, I guess we should know when is this?
July. Good question. July 19th is the date this year, and it starts at 7:30 in the morning. There
Put
is.
the coffee on at
No,
4:30.
do you
Yes,
really?
we do indeed.
Volunteers.
One of the things that you'll need to know is how to get an application. You can come here to the library to get an application after April 1st. It will also be on active.com. There will be a link from our website at www.scottsdalelibrary.org. So you will be able to get those applications. There is an early bird break in the cost. So if you register early, you can get a break in the cost, and you can actually do a walk-in on race day.
I was just gonna,
Yeah,
I was
we
gonna
have
point that out. I
walk-ins.
remember last year you guys had folks coming even after the heats had started in the pool. You know.
Yes, we've had athletes from 3 different states, believe it or not. That's our record so far, and we're hoping to expand even farther this year.
You had a lot of different ages too. You had some younger people
We
last
did.
year and some
did.
older
I think our
folks.
youngest was 12.
12.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just think that's amazing.
He
did
did
the-
the complete super sprint, yes.
Wow. Now there is the two. There's the regular, then the super, and they're
Right.
they're different. I'm sure that's all explained whenever you go on to the. Okay.
Absolutely. And our oldest, I think, was 72. Was our oldest, and
Wow.
boy, he burned up the track. He really did. He was awesome.
He won an award, yes.
So then, any information that any folks are going to need, they can call, they can stop, they can go on the website. Any
Right.
questions will be answered for them.
Yes, absolutely. The only other thing I might want to add is that you can do a relay. And that's a very
Oh, okay.
popular event.
We
So,
talked
you know,
about
if
that,
you
yes.
and some of your friends want to, you know, maybe one of
Actually,
you
I've
wants
already
to.
been challenged by Seth.
Okay,
So
okay.
we may-
So,
What's your part?
Swimming.
okay.
People don't want to do, so good for
Yes,
you.
and
Well,
there-
he told me that was his weakest, and
That
I'm
is
not saying that's
awesome.
my strongest, but I'll be done first.
Yes,
That's, yes, that's the most complaining.
we'll be there cheering
There's a
you on.
method to my madness.
Method. There
Okay.
is something about that swimming. They'll come in on race day and go,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I'm going to do the swimming, but I just have to get through it.
Right.
The biking and the running, but a lot of people are challenged by that swimming.
And you know, there is that little caveat that if you really are poor at swimming, you can, you know, if you're not at a certain point, at a certain amount of time, they will pull you out of the pool and just give you a penalty, a time penalty. So
Well, they were
not
people
always
last
a
year
bad
that
thing.
were actually kind of like walking.
Right.
And then they'd swim and then
right.
they'd walk where they could. I mean, you know, they did what
And
they
Scottsdale
could.
Pool has worked with us. They are making times available for people
great.
to go over and train and get in the pool.
wonderful.
And you know, I just think it's a healthier Scottsdale.
Sure. And speaking of Scottsdale, and while we're here, 1 minute, give us a big wrap up on some other things here at the library that are going to be going on.
Okay.
Just real quick.
Well, the children's, we've got a big children's
the
program
children's
coming
program
this summer.
coming up this summer. It will start June 16th. I have been assured that with all the days off from school, everyone will be out of school by then. We'll be running on Monday starting June 16th with the preschoolers at 11, the older children K through 5 at 1 o'clock, and then at 3 o'clock we'll have the middle school. And then on Wednesdays, I'm having a new program, and its title is Summer Stories. It's for the youngest of the young, maybe a year-old to under 3. And so then it's just stories, a little more low-key, and not all the pressure and running around. Because for the little ones, it's a tough thing.
Now, for adults, we've got a fantastic program going on right now. It's a 4-part series. It's funded by the National Science Foundation, and it's called Pushing the Limits.
Okay.
Very cool program, and we've got about 20 adults right now that are taking part, but you can join in at any time. Our next one comes next Thursday, and there'll be one in each month and up until June.
Oh, great.
And it looks like it's something we're going to actually continue.
Oh, great. Well, that's good to hear.
Yes.
And I know all of their other events and everything is listed on their website.
Absolutely.
And we just want to stress that, like the Triathlon, which is a fundraiser, these folks need fundraisers like that and others to keep your programs going and your doors open.
Sure.
One last thing about the triathlon, maybe you don't want to run, swim, and bike, but come out and cheer everyone on. That's what we're missing, the community coming out and cheering for everyone who has come
And it
back.
really is a lot
The
of fun.
volunteers are cheering, but we're spread out helping people run and, you know, where they're to go and how to get to the gazebo, because not everyone knows where the gazebo is, but we need some cheerleaders.
There we go. There we go. And everybody can do that. Everybody can cheer.
Absolutely.
Everybody can cheer.
Marilyn.
There we go. Oh my gosh. I don't know what I've got myself into. I think I'm going that weekend. I didn't know. I'm just kidding. Well, ladies, thanks a lot. Good luck with your event this year, and I guess I'll see you there.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Okay, we are now here in beautiful Yock Park in Connellsville, and I am meeting today with Connellsville's Mayor Greg Lincoln, who is going to tell me all about this city's upcoming triathlon. Well, Greg, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Okay, now tell us about your triathlon. This is your third year?
This is the third year that the Connellsville Rec Board is actually hosting. This will be the fifth year there's been a triathlon in the city. The first 2 years, River Cities Promotions is who actually started it here in Connellsville. It was very successful the first year and the second year, and then they asked us to. They didn't want to do it no more, and then Rec Board said yes, we'll take this challenge, and we went with it. And then the first year really turned out really well, and so we were excited to do it and to get people to come to Connellsville to use this beautiful park and see our city.
Now, one thing, too, as we know with a triathlon, it's swimming, biking, running. Okay.
Yes.
People that come to the Connellsville event are actually going to get to swim in the Yock behind us, which is super cool. Now, they
Yes.
go back and forth, but you said that might actually be
Yes,
changed
they
before
actually go around the pier and the river.
Okay, right behind
Right
you.
now, it's always set at one lap. You go around the pier and come back to shore and go to your transition zone and get your bike. I'm hoping to add another lap this year to make it a little bit more challenging. But we'll see how if the Rec Board is on board with that.
And we do want to point out for you non-locals, this is called the pier.
The cement structure in the middle, yes. That's where all the kids swim in the summertime when it's hot, and they swim there all day and every day. You know, it's amazing. Every time you come down in the park in the summertime, you'll see people sitting up there jumping off and swimming around there.
And you know what? Actually, it's a little bit, I think, deceiving. I didn't even realize it until Greg and I were talking earlier. The river's deep.
Yes, it's very deep there at that portion of the river. I'd say at least 10 feet deep past the pier. That's one thing about the triathlon. Our triathlon is different, is that most triathlons are in a swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
Here you get to swim in the river. It looks like a calm river here at this park, but when you get in there with the current going downstream, it is a little bit challenging.
Sure.
Especially for the novice triathletes.
Triathletes, I like that. Is that right?
Yes,
Triathlons?
triathletes.
Okay, triathletes.
Triathletes. I hope that's right. No, I just said it wrong, but
We made up a word if
yes.
it's not.
Yeah. So that's why we really wanted to do the river portion of it, because the first two triathlons, they were actually upstream, closer to Memorial Bridge.
Oh, really?
Is where they would swim, and they would swim downriver, and then get out by Ferris's up there, and then come down to the park here.
Oh, okay.
So it was different. So we moved it down here on advice on Vern Ohler's advice.
Okay. Now, we do want to point out too, safety. There's going to be people in the water. How's that going to work as far as safety?
New Haven Hose has a fire rescue boats that they will actually have the rescue guys will be on the boat that will have a rope that actually goes across the river that the athletes will swim around. That they can actually grab onto the rope if they feel that they're not, it's getting away from them. They can actually take a break.
Okay.
Or they can just literally just pick their legs up, float down the river a little bit, and the rescue guys will be on the boat, so they can grab them, pull them in their boat, bring them off the shore.
Okay.
They've done that for the last 2 years for us, and it worked out really well. Actually, last year we didn't have the swimming because the river was too high. That's one downfall of playing this event around the river is if we have a lot of rain in the area around that time. If it's too high, we won't allow them to go into the river because of safety.
If you float down and get taken out, is that a penalty?
No. Well,
I don't
with our sprint, if they want to get out of the river after that and get on their bikes and do that, we're more than welcome to do it.
Okay. All right.
And one thing with our triathlon, we have a team competition. So if you don't like swimming, you can get a partner to do the swimming portion. You can have someone do the biking portion, and then someone also do the running portion.
And you have to register as a team, though,
yes,
correct?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
And we had I think last year 5 or 6 teams that do that. So it's fun. We give separate awards out for the teams. It's I don't know. I like our triathlon. I did it the first year. My wife and I did it the first year. It was,
did you?
It was very challenging. Let me tell you.
Really?
The swimming part is definitely harder than it looks, and I would definitely suggest training for swimming if you're going to do that part of it, because it is
Good thing that's what the show is all about, is how to train for these things.
Yeah, so I would definitely watch
the whole show.
Yeah, watch the whole show, because especially in the river, it's not as easy as you think, because one is the water temperature. When you jump in the water, if your body's not used to that water temperature, it does kind of shock your body a little bit. So I know that by watching the athletes that do this a lot, they were getting into the river before the race even started, just getting their body acclimated with the water temperature, blah, blah, blah. And some actually wore wetsuits.
Okay.
The ones that really are here to compete wear wetsuits. That's their thing. They all had them on, and so that was something also to think about.
So they swim, then they come here and they jump on their bikes?
They actually go in this little area right here, is where the transition
here?
area is.
Behind us? Okay.
We have like little spots that they can put their bikes and all their whatever they bring with them to transition.
Change or whatever. Okay.
They'll get here, and then they'll actually take the road course, a 10.2 mile road course through the city of Connellsville, South Connellsville. You see the whole city. I love it.
I bet it's great.
It's very challenging. We have a lot of hills in Connellsville.
Stop walking in Connellsville. I come here just for exercise, because it's amazing.
The bike course is definitely challenging, especially after you get out of the river from doing the swimming part of it. One thing I will say is that we have our police auxiliary. They're out all over the city doing the traffic control. We have other volunteers that help us at all the turns, because there are a lot of turns on the bike course. Vern and the street department guys, they fix the holes on the course to make sure everything's safe for the bikes. There's nowhere a bike's going to fall into a hole and cause them to wreck or anything like that. It will be ready, and there actually will be markings on the turn, so when people know the turn's coming, they'll be able to make the correct turn.
Okay.
Because that was one of the concerns about our bikers, was that they want to make sure it's properly marked so they know which way to go.
Now, volunteers. I know you could probably use as many
volunteers as... And it's basically 2 or 3 hours of their time. They want to come down, we'll put them all over the course, because that's basically where we need them, is on our bike course, because we have so many turns that we would need somebody to just be standing there, and when they see the biker come and say, hey, you got to go this way. It helps us out. I mean, because we do the police auxiliary, they're volunteer also, so they do all the major intersections of the city to stop the cars and whatnot. So
it's safe. It's safe to go.
Yes, we of course, we've had some close calls, but thankfully in the 2 years we've done it, we haven't had any accidents yet. So
we have no wood to knock on this time.
No.
Scott tells you we all knocked on wood.
Yes.
Okay, so then they finish biking. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, they finish biking.
They come back to their transition spot with their bike, and then they run through the park here. I almost axle down to the Westdraw Bridge.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's about 3 miles, 3.2 mile loop that they come back. They finish actually right here in front of the stage here in York Park.
That's cool. And then you have the award ceremony and everything right here where you and I are standing.
This is where they would come to sign in for the race. They register here. We'll have this where they pick up their bag of stuff that they get when they register. Their free T-shirt that we give with.
You get a T-shirt too.
Yes, we give out T-shirts. We'll have fruit and water and whatnot that we get donated for the athletes when they come or when they finish, to have something to replenish their system from that hard workout they just had.
And Mayor Lincoln actually pointed something out earlier when he and I was talking, that the city really. They pretty much line the streets and cheer the people on. It's kind of cool.
We ask that anybody, if you're not doing anything from 10 o'clock until noon, to be outside and yell for the athletes. I mean, no one really see are the bikers, and it's they're all over at different points of the city when they do this race. So yeah, it would be nice to have people out and just cheering for
a little bit of encouragement.
Yes, so definitely.
And I understand you have one big sponsor for the event.
West Penn Power. Thank you so much to them. This will be the third year that they're our corporate sponsor. Because of their donation, it helps us be able to put this event on.
And you're always looking for other sponsors.
If anybody else would like to sponsor the triathlon, they can get a hold of Melissa Zan, call City Hall at, and leave a message, and we'll definitely get back to you. You can check us out on our Facebook page. That'll be City of Connellsville, PA, and also the Connellsville Parks and Rec is our Facebook page you can go to find the race course. It's on there, GPS track. You can look at the course and other information of what's going on with the triathlon.
And speaking of information, when is this?
It's July 19th is actually the race.
And what time does it start?
At 9 a.m. is the registration. 10 a.m. it will be the start.
Okay. Oh, all right.
And it's $45 for adults up to the age of 60, and then 61 and older is $35. Okay. And that's up to July 11th. Anything after July 11th or day of a race, it'll be $50, $5 late fee for the registration.
But you can register race day.
You can definitely. Unfortunately, most people like to register the day of because they want to see what the weather's like. It's always about the weather. So
this is rain or shine, right?
This is rain or shine. We
like shine though.
We have. I wish I would, because we've had bad weather on that day. Only thing that kept us was we had the river was too high last year for them to swim in, so that kind of caused us to do a different 2 running courses.
So you're due some sunshine.
Yeah, so we look, and it's actually right after the Woodruff here in Connellsville, a week later. So
people will be all in shape.
Yeah, so and hopefully anybody's training for the Pittsburgh Triathlon, because theirs is on in August.
Okay.
That's why we wanted to do it before then, so they wanted to come down and do a sprint and just get one under their belt before
get their feet wet.
till they do a real full-size triathlon in Pittsburgh. That would be definitely, we'd love for them to come down and do it, because I know that once people do it one time, they really enjoy it and they do come back.
Now, all of the proceeds then from this go to the rec board?
The Connellsville Rec Board,
okay.
yes.
And it's just used for programming and such and everything?
For other events that they have during the year. We do movies in the parks here. We're having our Tangled Up and Brew. It's a home brewers event here in October that'll go towards help for that. We're going to be having music in the parks. Our summer sports camps. Anything.
And you're adding some this year, maybe, huh?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah, we're adding wrestling and volleyball and swimming. I'm real excited about that.
Well, there's a whole list of everything they're doing on the Facebook and on your website, right?
Yes. Connellsville, you can get an application for our triathlon at Connellsville.org, which is the city's official website on the internet. So, or you can go to Connellsville Parks and Rec Facebook page, and they can find out information on there.
Okay. Well, there you go, folks. Mark your calendars. Anything else about the triathlon?
You'll be, if you competed in our triathlon before, we're sending save the date cards out.
I didn't see this. I was going to
say, just save the date cards. Okay. We're going to be they've actually been sent out, I think, either beginning of this week or last week. Okay. So hopefully, you get this in the mail and you consider coming back to Connellsville and doing this. We'd greatly appreciate it, and it's a fun day.
And register. You can register now.
You can register right now. You can get the form off the off the internet, off of Connellsville.org, and fill it out and send it in, and believe we will take early registrations. We appreciate that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate, once again, Armstrong covering something for Connellsville.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, folks, there you have it. I'm waiting to get ready for all 3 events for a triathlon. We've had a lot of fun. I've learned a lot. I hope you folks did too. I'm actually going to ride off into the sunset here while Sue tells everybody goodbye. Before I do that, remember, folks, keep smiling, keep dreaming, and keep watching.
Uh-oh. I think we've created a monster. There she goes.
Armstrong local programming features our community like no one else. Meet your friends and neighbors at special events. Find the perfect pet. Celebrate our region's rich history or enjoy our natural wonders. Armstrong local programming is available online, on demand, and on your local Armstrong channel. Find the complete program schedule at ArmstrongOneWire.com. Local programming exclusively from Armstrong. One Wire, infinite possibilities.